Hello everyone and welcome to a new video from Your Overwatch. I'm Eddie the Chump and today we'll be talking about Soldier 76. Now a misconception about him is that he's just very strong and can do everything. Now the best lies have an element of truth in them, so what's the lie in this truth? Well, Soldier is an everyman DPS, but I feel you have to play him in a very specific way to take advantage of his dexterity. Sound confusing? Well, I've brought examples to better illustrate my points. Battlefield General. Before I get to the specific examples, I'd just like to outline my philosophy when playing Soldier. Soldier is best used when playing further back, or to put it differently, he's best played when he has the fullest view of the battlefield. The reason for this is that his greatest strength, and his greatest weakness typically, is that he's more a Swiss Army knife than scalpel. So the principle is, you play Soldier further back to see where you need to apply pressure depending on the context. Because he can sprint, repositioning or refocusing your point of attack with Soldier is easier than more focused DPS heroes like McCree. The common error in Soldier play is by ignoring his nature, and instead playing him as a pseudo-flanker duelist hero. Because his damage has been buffed, people regularly attempt to play away from their team in an attempt to make plays and get picks. If you do that, you're ignoring his greatest weapons. Sure, he can win duels, but his role as I conceive it is as the world's most deadly janitor. He cleans up targets excellently, and to do that effectively, you need to see as much of what is going on as possible. This ranged approach to him is also what makes him an excellent target for nano boost. If you take positioning with strategic advantage, nano sights can be impossible to defend against, is because he can see everything. The number of targets and potential value he can extract is exceptionally high. You'll see in all the examples I give how I apply this philosophy to constantly shift my attention between doing damage, denying space to enemy flankers, or contribute to winning the shield battle. Examples. In this first example I'm playing defense on Nimbani and I've taken up position on the high ground behind the point. Now I am away from my team here, but this is an easy position for me to fall back from. The enemy team has Pharah and Genji as their DPS, so I took this position to provide support fire as they try to outmaneuver our shielding on the top right staircase. From here I can see everything I need to, and once the enemy team commits, they either have to deal with me or risk being exposed. They don't deal with me and succumb to a hammer down sights combo. The most important thing here is the clarity of the battlefield I have. I can lend my damage to whichever lane they take, and the longer they leave me alone, the worse it is for them. The second example is from the same game but the attack phase. We full held on defense, so all we need to do is secure the right frags to win. You'll notice I stay in amongst and slightly behind my team at all times, applying pressure to their Ana who is peeking without shielding and swapping targets depending on what my teammates are trying to pressurize. I try to find their healers as I know Liam is aggressing them with Genji, and I contribute to eliminating Lucio for the first frag. Swiftly afterwards Ana is dead too, so I look to focus fire with my team for my next target. D.Va is dueling their Reaper, so I lend my damage to that fight and we clean him up. Then the Rhine, then the Roadhog, and finally the healers who try and make it back to the fight to stall out. The most important thing is that I maximised my view of the fight as a whole and chose my targets wisely. The third example is the first in a series from the same game on King's Row. We end up holding here after a series of stalled out pushes and retakes. This first clip shows that I take higher positioning to deny their Pharmacy and Reaper who make attempts to outflank our shielding. Me and Ana kill the Pharah and I look for the Reaper. However, the Mercy uses her res and I use sights to eliminate the Pharah again as my team has pushed up and she could do a lot of damage if left there. This you could argue is a waste of ult, but I decided to use it here as she was the reason the enemy had taken point 1 with exactly this kind of play. I then make an effort to support my team by dropping and supporting in the streets. Our counter initiation goes a bit awry as our Lucio is immediately pinned and we use Nano on our Rhine. However, the enemy Zarya gravitons us and Rhine earth shatters. I along with Ana and McCree get eliminated. But due to where the cart is and how many are dead on both teams, we'll know we'll be able to challenge at the last second once we've respawned. This is exactly what happens and a split team fight occurs. I try to keep at least some distance and apply damage where it needs to be. First on a Reaper, but he gets Zarya bubbled, so I switch to helping our McCree engage the Zarya and their healers. Because of this incoming damage from me and the McCree, they back off, so I refocus onto the other part of the fight, helping to eliminate their Rhine as ours returns from spawn. I switch my focus to Zarya and Ana as they re-peak to attempt to help their team, but I helix Ana. With no shielding or main healer and both DPS dead, the enemy team fall back despite us not being at full strength. In the following poke battle I try and build charge for sights, which I do. I then retake the high ground in preparation for their next full team push. Here I'm trying to deny deny space to any flankers, as I'll have a Reaper covered if he attempts to drop down on my team, which as they initiate is exactly what happens. I don't kill him but force him back. Their Ana without shielding dies to my sights from the high ground. They immediately back off and we chase. I watch the window behind my team to discourage the Reaper I know is still there. He backs off and we reset. We win the next fight and hold at point 2. The main thing I want you to take away from this video is not that I think I'm great, I don't actually, but rather how to best utilize Soldier's biggest strength, his dexterity. He can do everything, so it's your job to determine what that is at any given time. The best way to make the best decisions is with the most info, necessitating a playstyle from slightly further back. He's a jack of all trades, so use that to your advantage. Make the other team have to deal with you by taking up good positioning and splitting their offense, and remember to focus down what your teammates are applying pressure to. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like. If you'd like us to talk about anything specific, please don't hesitate to leave a comment below. Also, please follow the Your Overwatch Twitter, it's where you can find updates about new videos and streams. I've been Eddie the Chump, and until next time.